Alright, everybody, happy Tuesday. This is Dylan with the Year Zero Report. This can be your daily brief for August 30th, 2022. We got a lot to go over today, so let's just get right into it. Starting right off, we got Trump's True Social barred from Google Play over the content moderation. This is somewhat ironic, in my opinion, uh, seeing as True Social does have quite a bit of content on there, which does turn out to be factual, either in the short term or later on, as we've discovered over the last 2 years. So just something ironic here. I would imagine that you're probably able to download True Social with an APK file if you just visit truesocial.com or something of that nature, where you'll be able to still gain access to this without having to use a Google download platform to gain access. I'm not sure if it's on the Apple Store. It might be. Um, it would be kind of interesting if it is, but if not, again, maybe an APK or another install would be possible on an Android device. But totally ironic there. Moving right along, since we got a lot to cover today. We're actually going to hop over to some breaking news that just came through just a bit ago. Mikhail Gorbachev actually just passed away at the age of 91 after being diagnosed with serious illness. And this is coming out of Sputnik right here. For those familiar, and I imagine most of you are, Gorbachev was a leader of the Soviet Union, which led the Russia out of Soviet Union control through the help of Reagan as well, and their partnership and friendship in the early 80s there. But crazy. To be honest with you guys, I didn't even realize Gorbachev was still alive. I figured he was probably up in at about his 90s, if not even older. So definitely, it's unfortunate, but of course life ends, right? His wife passed away in 1999. She was famous as well with her work. I believe she was an activist, political activist there for a while, but she passed away in her 60s in 1999. So Gorbachev has passed away now. A little bit of history there. So moving right over, we got Taiwan news here. Taiwan fired defensive shots at China drones for the first time. So it's another step in aggression here. Of course, China's been on the offensive. It hasn't been Taiwan that's been really escalating things here. We saw a couple weeks back China doing live fire exercises pretty much all around Taiwan there, following Pelosi's visit over into the island. But defensive shots fired at Chinese drones for the first time. Taiwan's defense ministry has issued new details of the live fire incident with the Chinese drone, which happened near Taiwan-controlled islands, reportedly in Dadan, Erdan, and Shiyu areas. Crucially, Taipei is confirming live ammunition was used and not merely warning flares as in a prior July confrontation. So again, just escalation here once more. I would imagine as the weeks and months go on, we'll see this continue to escalate in that pattern. We were actually talking about this yesterday. I would expect this to just continue to increase. If you guys aren't familiar with my stance, we're in a high inflation environment. I do not believe that the core inflation number that we're seeing is actually from the CPI print is actually where we are. I'm sure it's much higher. I mean, what do you guys think? Comment, let me know below. This is crazy though. It's inflation. We're saying we're not in a recession. We've seen many other central banks around the world do a 100 basis point hike. We have yet to do that, but we have recorded two quarters of negative GDP growth, which is a technical recession, before the White House and Biden administration altered that definition there. I want to hop back over to Trump real quick though. I'm seeing a lot of news, a lot of word, a lot of people speaking out in alternative media that they believe that Trump will be indicted. I've spoke on this on our Telegram at Year Zero Report a number of times, where I do believe Trump will be indicted, even prior to the FBI raid. Now we're finding out that there were moles within Mar-a-Lago. So obviously there's a potential of evidence being planted either prior to the raid or during the raid. Of course, we know that there was cameras on the facility and they were operational. Even though the FBI asked that they do be turned off, they were operational throughout that. We have not seen any footage coming out, but I believe that they are going to attempt to indict Trump, if not 100% going to indict Trump. It would halt him from being able to run. It would create a lot of obstacles within his path But we'll see. I mean, the moles in Mar-a-Lago is definitely interesting. I want to know more about that. How many? How close were these individuals? Do they have a history of being a part of the administration? Uh, Curious things, absolutely. But moving right along and on a similar topic, uh, we're all waiting for that storm, right? The big storm, the storm to come. We've been waiting 2 years now for a storm to come. What if that storm is actually a geostorm? I've seen this floating around over the last few days, about a week really. The truther community talking a lot about the potential of the storm actually being a geostorm. We know that we're in a solar maximum. We're seeing flares more than ever before. It's alarming, but something to keep an eye on. I don't want to go too much into it as this is posted elsewhere on more censored platforms. But it's interesting. It's something to keep an eye on. I'm watching a lot of prominent figures in the community begin to speak their opinion in agreement of such. Interesting. But let's hop back over into this, where we got the global gas crisis spilling into the United States. Like we discussed yesterday, all the energy crisis that we're seeing across Europe, whether it's natural gas or electricity, those issues are going to affect the market in Europe. And in turn, that market will be altered throughout the global economy. We're going to see energy costs inflate. Go look at energy stocks that have been going up excessively. I would imagine this will continue. Um, we're seeing Germany want to shut down nuclear plants. It's all about that going green. Now, if I recall, even just a year to 2 years ago, everybody trying to push the Go Green initiative, they all even admitted themselves that we're at least 5, possibly 10 years out from being able to really implement a Go Green agenda globally and successfully. I disagreed with that then, and now it seems where we're sitting right now, it's been rushed all along. Um, the EU has implemented a variety of changes to allow going green at a more rapid pace, and with that, the infrastructure is not there to sustain, and we're seeing that. And obviously, with Ukraine and Russia conflict, there's been sanctions deployed not just by the United States but also by the European Union, NATO members, which is causing self-harm to themselves, which has driven this crisis to where it is today. So, reading along with this, both experts and everyday consumers remain at odds about the current state of the global natural gas market. The main point of the contention is whether U.S. prices will drop significantly or rise further. With inflation hitting record highs this past year, nobody can blame consumers for being wary. Most experts agree that gas prices and demand will keep up their pace. I gotta agree 100% with that there. The ongoing European energy crisis weighed into this heavily. As we just discussed, EU countries continue to search for alternatives to Russian fuel. However, Europe's energy problems will likely ripple into the entirety of the international energy market. They already are, people. Pay attention. They already are. In fact, it might be happening already. And they say it right there. So we're ahead on that. We know it's coming. This goes into the Nord Stream pipeline, which has a significant effect into what we're seeing across European energy prices. But this is insane. People with businesses in Europe are planning on actually just closing those businesses out within a 6-month period. They're serving their last customers right now. They're not sure how they're going to be able to make it through. We're seeing multiple X moves, multiple X moves. We're talking like 200, 300% moves for some individuals from a year to where we are right now. How is a business supposed to sustain that? Also within an inflationary environment, it's just not looking good in my opinion. So let's move over here. We're going to be sticking with the energy again, and I'll pull up the energy chart so we can look at the day forward prices at the end here. But Austria's largest energy supplier becomes insolvent. We're going to see more and more of this occur throughout Europe, in my opinion. So just right off the top, Austria's largest energy supplier, WE, faces financial turmoil due to massive inflation in the country. The company is due to repay between 1.7 and 1.8 billion euros and needs collateral. Uh, this is crazy, people. I mean, are they going to step in? EU going to step in and start bailing out these energy facilities? What's going to happen here? What's your opinion? Comment, please. I want to know what everybody's thinking. This is unprecedented, and it will get worse as we go forward. So with this headline here, what do I want to do is let's hop over. Let's check out the EU Energy Live, and you guys can see up here. You guys can track this live on your own. So this is a day ahead electricity prices. So it's going to be for tomorrow, the 31st. Austria is obviously getting hit the worst, and with the announcement of the largest energy supplier being insolvent, we could expect that. Looks like the map is not loading, but that's all right. We have a trickle down price here. So Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria. Look at these numbers, guys, and we'll keep track of these. If you go back to yesterday and compare to today, you can see the difference there. But this is alarming. And per megawatt, right? Euro per megawatt. Italy, $550. How are residents supposed to sustain living in this environment, let alone a business, right? Imagine a business electricity bill. It's massive compared to a residential. Alarming. Germany right there at 5th place. I would imagine we'll see Germany climb above here. But what do you guys think? Let me know. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, and it's not going to stop. If you haven't realized, it's only been increasing as time's gone on, as we've spoken about. Although this channel is rather new, I've been speaking on this for over 2 years now, through the Year Zero report, mostly through Telegram. A little bit of housekeeping here. You guys can find the Year Zero report on Telegram, YouTube, Rumble, Bitchute. I believe that takes it all there. We do have a Twitter, but again, who's on Twitter anymore? But this is just unprecedented. Let's do some financial recaps since we went over a lot of charts yesterday. I'm not going to go into the charts with you guys. We're just going to go over some numbers since I covered a lot of it yesterday, and we could recap maybe next week with some charts. But the US dollar, we remain above the demand zone as we discussed yesterday. We wanted to see us drop back into there, possibly lose that support and turn it into resistance, see a turnaround on the dollar, but it looks like we're going to continue to press up. The 10-year treasury yields, these are not good. Discussed this heavily yesterday. We've actually broken into the supply zone further. So like I said yesterday, we wanted to see this pull back before breaking all the way out of that supply zone. We break out of that supply zone to the upside, markets are not going to like that. And I'm not just talking US equities, things like that. It's going to be globally. So something to keep an eye on, those 10-year treasury yields, 3-year, 5-year, all those as well. But the euro, we're kind of hovering around that demand zone, and this is going to be on a higher time frame anyways. It would be alarming in my opinion if we lost that demand zone that we discussed yesterday in a 24-hour period. But ranging within and above is something I would expect. Today we saw the S&P go under 4,000. We talked about that yesterday. We knew that was coming, and we have support at 3915. So that's where I'd look for a reaction, for a bounce. And of course, if we range in between, we're looking at a resistance level of 4085, 4085. So that's what's going on there with the markets. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking about economically, geopolitically. It seems like we have something popping off every day and sustaining for multiple weeks. It's only Tuesday, and it's already been fun, right? But I hope you guys are really enjoying the week. I hope you guys are doing well. You're stocking up. You're getting your silver right, trying to move money out of fiat and get out of that paper dollar, get the money out of the bank. But if you guys like the content I share, please like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. It'll help us grow. If you guys are looking for more content, I post more content on Telegram than any of the other platforms that we're on. So hop over there. That's open. That's going to be at Year Zero Report. My name's Dylan. This has been your daily brief for August 30th, 2022. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I will see you all tomorrow.